Back to Off the Leash, the official podcast of the Mankato MoonDogs. This week on the Internship Spotlight, we have Laura Buhr. Laura, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, excited to be here.
Laura, so my first question for you is, what do you have this summer with the team? What are you doing?
I'll be one of the promotions interns.
Ooh, you excited, nervous, scared?
I'm a little nervous to be talking on the microphone, but we'll get better.
Have you gotten over the sound of your voice yet? I know a lot of people struggle with that.
Not yet. I don't like it.
Well,
Still don't like it.
Insecurity or just, it's weird?
I just feel like everyone out there is going to be like, ooh, doesn't sound very good.
Laura, I think MoonDogs fans are the most accepting people in the world. They accepted Hack, they accepted me. I think they'll be fine with you. So let's rewind for a quick second. Where do you go to school?
I go to the University of Minnesota.
And did they help you find this internship, or?
I actually found this internship over winter break. I was just Googling sports jobs near me because, gotta find something, and this came up, so.
It's pretty cool. So what was the interview process like? Was it scary? Was it nerve-wracking? Was it awesome? I know I had fun with Walker on my interview. What was your interview like?
I know mine was on Zoom, and I couldn't hear Walker at all. So that was a little nerve-wracking, but I got the AirPods in, figured it out, and that was pretty easy.
So a little off the beaten path questions. If someone wanted to be an intern here, what would you say to them for your experience so far?
I feel like you just gotta want to have fun and be a team player because we all do multiple roles. So yeah.
And what are you looking to gain through this summer with the MoonDogs?
I kind of want to see if promotions and marketing is something I really want to go into. I feel like there's a lot of different paths you can go down in sports, and marketing is interesting to me, but I don't know if it's the one yet. So
what is little Laura's dream job, and is she doing it right now?
Dream job was high school athletic director. Still thinking about it. Doing an internship at a high school during the school year this year, so see if that's the one.
For the fans out there, my dream job was a garbage man. But what is the dream job in sports potentially, besides athletic director? Is it working for the Vikings, the Timberwolves, or anywhere? What is it?
I really like college athletics. I think it's a really good environment, and there's a lot of people learning, and you get to be a big part of the team still. So.
Did you play at all?
Not in college, but high school.
Flex the high school stats on us. Let's get to know Laura Buhr. Come on.
Yeah, softball was my main sport. I pitched, and I played outfield, but I mostly pitched. I was the only pitcher on my high school team, so all the innings were mine.
Hurt at all?
It definitely hurts now when I try and throw a ball, which is kind of a bummer, but, had to do it at the time, so, yeah.
Laura, I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you're busy, but what do you want to say to the Mankato MoonDogs fans this season?
Hope you have a great time, play our promotional games, and excited to see you.
Make sure to heckle Laura Buhr. We're going to do Welcome to Off the Leash, the Mankato MoonDogs official podcast. This week on the Intern Spotlight, we got Preston. Preston, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Happy to be here, Jacob.
Preston, I think the question on everybody's mind is, what are your responsibilities here for the MoonDogs?
Well, right now I'm doing a lot of internal sales right now, where I deal with either group outings or ticket packaging. My official position is corporate sponsorship, and that's where I handle what the companies would like to promote within their respective companies on this field. And also, after the fourth inning, I'll be being the dugout driver, or the bullpen driver.
Sounds awesome. Yeah. So let's go back a little bit. I started a little forward. What made you want to be in sports, and where are you in school? And give the fans, you make it this ballpark run. Let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. I always just wanted to be in sports in general, or work in sports my whole life. Honestly, as growing up, I wanted to be a professional athlete first, but
obviously.
Absolutely. And but I just knew that I just wanted to work in sports because it's something I was very passionate about, something I couldn't keep my eye off of, and something I never wanted to stop learning.
So what brings you to the MoonDogs specifically? Is it being close to your college, or?
I had some recommendations actually from previous employees like Jacob Johnson. He highly recommended this internship for me, and just because of how great the management is and just a great experience that he had last summer.
So the question I always love asking is, what are you looking to gain out of this? What's the future look like for Preston?
I'm hoping to gain some resources or some connections through this job. And I'm also just hoping to have a really good time.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You mentioned professional athlete. What's the dream job now for Preston?
Dream job is to be a general manager of a professional football team, or basketball, probably preferably football, but yeah, that's my absolute dream. Right now, I'm trying to get into the sales department for professional teams, but hopefully when I get my foot wet in the door, I can hopefully move my way up in other ways.
Kind of like Derek Shoen in Miami Heat, just going that route.
Exactly. Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
No interest in doing a GM of a baseball team? Being like our GM Tyler Cook?
I feel like I'm not experienced or I'm not intelligent enough for baseball. I feel like baseball is such a complex sport where there's even more variables than other sports, and I feel like I understand football a lot more. But I'm more than willing to learn more about baseball.
So let's veer off the path a little bit. Who's your favorite football team? And would you want to be their general manager or what?
My favorite football team is obviously the Vikings. There's no other better team in the league. I wouldn't mind being the general manager. Like that would definitely be my first option. But I would say that if I was offered that position anywhere else, I would definitely take it.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot. If you could make one move for the Vikings right now, what would it be?
I would have to probably trade Kirk Cousins.
I respect that a lot. What would you like to say to the MoonDogs fan coming to the stadium this season at ISG Field?
It's going to be a really fun year this year. It's going to be absolutely fun. This is probably one of the nicest baseball fields I've ever honestly seen in my life. It's just going to be a great experience this year, and the team is looking really good this year.
Preston, thanks for being on.
Absolutely, thank you, Jim.
That has been our
Welcome back to Off the Leash, the Mankato MoonDogs podcast. We're joined by Derek Shoen. Derek, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Derek, now, New Mary is in the conference around Mankato, but could you still give a recap for the fans who don't know about you, what your season was like at New Mary?
Yeah, so we started off tough. We were 2-11 there to start the beginning of the year, but troops kind of rallied and we got ourselves into the conference tournament. Finished 8th in the standings, and then we got bounced kind of early, but it's another good step in the right direction for our program as it's our second consecutive winning year. So
I'm curious, I'm more of a mental kind of sports player. What was the locker room like being 2-11? Did you step as a leader, or what did your coaches say?
yeah, that was exactly what everything kind of happened. We just needed some older guys to step up and like assume the position and like be leaders, and that's kind of what we did. We had a Marauders night. The boys were down, so we made a mandatory Marauders night, and we all got together at one of the houses, and we just like talked and bonded it all out, and then came out and played the next day. We got a win, went on a little heater, got like 8-9 in a row, so turned it around and got everyone believing again, so that was very fun.
Derek, I know you're a super humble guy, but can you flex the stats on us for the season? Going being a two-way player, average was insane, mound was insane. Flex the stats for me.
Yeah, humble brag. I got a record for our University of Marion home runs and RBIs this year. Average was pretty good, in the middle of the lineup every time. And then we had some bullpen arms go down, so then I had to step up, and I was in like the closer's role for a little bit. So like that was always fun knowing like you can impact the game if like you can get a go ahead inning and then go out and close it down. Like that's like pretty fun feeling to have, like like you got that power and stuff. But so yeah, it was good year.
Derek, some people around the organization started to call you Shoei because of your two-way ability. How do you feel about that comp, or who is your player comp?
I mean, I've like heard that rumor before, especially like if I was the starting pitcher that day and then hitting 2, which I did it quite a bit like my junior year at Mary. So I've heard that before, and he's probably like the most relevant player, but never really thought of a player comp for myself before.
Interesting, very interesting. What is that mental aspect of the game when you have to go in and pitch and hit? Is it different than being just a hitter or just a pitcher, or what's it like?
Yeah, it's completely different. Because I mean, like, when I'm just a hitter, it's like, like you kind of got your routine and your vibe, and it's like you can just watch the pitcher, watch your at-bats before you when he's doing to other guys and stuff. But like, you're doing both, and like at the same time, it's like I'm so locked in on like trying to be a pitcher that then like my at-bats sometimes like suffer because like I'm not giving the detail and the attention to that it needs or anything, because I'm like so focused on my pitching routine and how to be like mentally prepared for the next inning, and you're just like, oh man, I gotta go hit now. Just kind of step in and compete.
Changing gears a little bit here, how does your D2 game translate to the Northwoods League? We got a lot of D1 guys and we got a lot of D2 guys, but how's your game specifically transfer?
My game's just gonna be a all-around solid game. I mean, try to put the ball in play, just do what the team needs me to do to win. I mean, it's pretty much what it's all about. I just want to be a contributor and pass the baton up and down the lineup, and I mean, good things happen that way.
Do you have any expectations for yourself or for the team?
I just want to have a really good summer. I mean, just keep competing, keep hitting the ball hard. And, I mean, just
Derek, could you talk a little bit about this famous boat? We talked a little before the interview about it. Tell the fans what it's about, what kind it is, what kind of motor you got on it.
So it's like so funny because like I hate water. So like I hate water, I hate swimming. When COVID is like we're all at home and I live close to like Fairmont with all the lakes and stuff. So like all my friends wanted to go out and stuff. So we're like, let's all pitch in and buy a boat together. And so we kind of all pitched in and went on Facebook Marketplace, got ourselves a boat. And then for that summer we were just all hanging out. And like I hate fishing, like some of those guys like to fish, I guess. But I'm just there to be on the lake and drive around in circles. We don't really even tour or do anything.
So I think the question in everybody's mind is, did you actually ever get in the water or just stay dry the entire time?
I usually try to stay as dry as possible. If it's really hot, I might jump in, but
I respect that.
special occasions.
So Derek, you have practice. I don't want to take up too much of your time. What do you want to say to MoonDogs fans for the upcoming season?
I hope you come out, support us. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun when you guys come out. I mean, it means a lot to play in front of a sold-out crowd and all you great fans.
That has been Derek Shoen on the Off the Leash podcast. We're on Off the Leash, the official podcast of the Man Cave of MoonDogs. I'm joined by Drew Buhr. Drew, thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, man.
Drew, I finally did my homework for once, and it looked like you had a stellar basketball career.
Yeah, basketball was something big over where I'm from, so playing the game was just something I did.
Drew, you got to flex where you're from. You're from Indiana, the basketball state, so it's a pretty big deal to be a good hooper.
Yeah, it is. Basketball just kind of runs through the blood there, so ever since you're little, 3 years old, I mean, you're holding the basketball in your hand and shooting, so that's just something I grew up with, and it was just something really fun to do.
So, what was the choice, baseball over basketball? Why'd you make that choice?
My dream is to play professionally, and I see that more coming from the baseball side. I'm not the tallest man, I'm like 6'1", so basketball is kind of limited there. But, I mean, baseball is something I always had a passion for, made a lot of good guys and good coaches, so I had opportunities to play college baseball, and I kind of went with that.
Is there guys you try and emulate? Matt Higgins, per se, on your team, or players professionally?
Definitely. Higgins is one of the best guys I know, so just kind of follow his footsteps, almost like mirror him. He's unbelievable, so he's definitely guys I kind of look up to.
Would you give us a quick recap on your season at Bellarmine? I know it was your second season in Division I.
It was a lot of fun. It was difficult at times. I mean, we played a pretty tough schedule, playing like Tennessee twice and a whole bunch of SEC teams, but it was a blast. Good learning experience for everybody. So I'm excited to see how we do in the future.
I spoke to Crane about it. Were you nervous at all, scared? Because you're going up against the best of the best.
I mean, I wouldn't say I was nervous. It was, at first you're like, wow, this is a nice stadium. And once you're in there and playing the game, the competitiveness kind of takes over, and you're just like locked in and ready to go.
Drew, you originally started your career at St. Louis. I was wondering why you transferred to Bellarmine.
I kind of want to be a little closer to home. So I decided to come back. St. Louis is probably 4 hours from home, and Bellarmine's maybe 40 minutes to an hour. So I want to be a little closer to home, and I've loved it there ever since I've been there.
So is your path to the MoonDogs similar as Davis's, asking Higgy to be, or did Wally reach out to you, or what's your path?
I'll say Pinder. Nolan Pinder ended up being a really good connection. Him being a pitcher, and I spent a lot of time with him as well. He kind of got me in touch with Wally, and then stuff from there just kind of went on to where I am today. So
you're kind of two-way PO for Bellarmine. Which is your better, hitting or pitching? What do you think?
I can't really say. I mean, baseball's one of those sports where one day you love it, hitting, and the next day you hate hitting, and then it's the same thing with pitching. You know, when you're going, you'll be down to do whatever. So
anything you prefer, rather pitch or hit, or just?
Man, it's hard to say, but like when you're like a pitching groove and you're dominating a game, it's pretty hard to take yourself off the mound. You just love being up there. But also being said, man, if you're on like a 10-game hit streak, nothing more you want to do than be in the box. So I'd say it goes day to day.
The Northwoods League is one of the premier leagues in America. What are your expectations for the season?
I'm expecting to come out here and compete right away and have a really good season and try to get better every single aspect of the game. Mostly mentally. I think physically it's going to be challenging, but mentally is really where I can take a good stride forward.
Drew, we've been very professional. Any fun facts you want to share with the Mankato people?
I think it's funny. When I was little, I learned I was actually a lefty when my parents bought me golf clubs, and I held the righty golf club backwards. And I was like, well, you don't hit it like this. So then they were like, oh yeah, you're left-handed. So I ended up switching over, and that's when I learned I was a left-handed hitter.
Pretty cool. Drew, I've been here about 5 days, and I've learned that the Mankato faithful are passionate about their MoonDogs. So is there anything you want to say to the fans?
Come out and have a blast, man. We're going to come out here, compete, entertain for you guys, and we'd love for everybody to come out and support us.
That has been Drew Buhr on the Off the Leash podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and listen next week.